Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to PyroFalkon's Let's Play Extravaganza, where I'm joined by the Akamura as we are playing Final Fantasy VI once again.
Hi, everyone.
And I've done a bunch of grinding. I can't remember what the timer was when I stopped the last episode, but there you go. I've been playing for 4 hours, 37 minutes total. So I've got a bunch of good gear, and I've got a bunch of healing items. We are now in Crescent Mountain, which is tiny, looking for Gao's shiny. Shiny, shiny. So, this is happening.
He's butt scooting.
He's butt scooting. Yeah, whatever. Gao forgets where the thing is, so we just have to start randomly looking
Dungeon
around.
excuse.
Oh god. I always trigger this even though I know it's bad. So, Gao finds a thing, and it's a tonic. The cheapest healing item in the game. But it's not Gao's treasure. I think that's supposed to imply they're going, phew, but it wasn't that stupid. So we go over here, and Gao's all, hey, check this out.
Hey, listen.
Hey, Gao, what's wrong? We're gonna look, and then, Gao! And Sabin drops his wallet.
Yay!
And just lost 500 GP. I always trigger that even though... now I'm super poor at 152 gold. Sad face, but we're alright. I forgot that we're actually pretty close to the next major story development. And there is his treasure. It's a diving helmet. Gao's shiny, shiny treasure is a diving helmet.
It looks like a pear.
A pear?
Yes.
A pear with a big white dot on it?
Yes.
Hopefully not mold.
Yes. Hopefully not an egg sac for the Brazilian wandering spider.
So, here we are at the river that leads all the way to South Figaro, where everybody is meeting up. Or rather, they're meeting north of South Figaro in Marsh, if you may remember the storyline. So we're just going to dive in like idiots, because apparently one diving helmet is enough to make sure all three of us can breathe properly.
And even then, they just dove in and left Gao up on the
Fuck 'em.
cliff.
We just took his treasure and now we're leaving. That's how we do. Yay, Mode 7. This is all automated. Except there's a couple branching paths, which we will apparently get to in a moment. Hello, Beastie. You're ugly. Dead. Exciting, apparently, since neither of us are talking. This is sort of...
It's like a movie I'm watching.
Yeah, this is sort of one of those parts where there isn't really a whole lot to do. So at those branching paths, you can pick left or right as you saw. There's only 2 branching paths. Picking right twice gets you the maximum amount of loot. Picking left gives you nothing. At all.
That's
It's
bullshit.
kind of douchey. But it does make things quicker, because we are going to come back here once before the end of this.
And get Sabin's pouch back.
Well, we've already made up more money than we had in the first place, so we're all set. Received X potion. Yeah, it's useful.
Yay!
It gives us all
Get
our
back
health
in the water.
back. I'm kind of surprised Cyan can handle this since he's all armored and shit. You would think he'd sink to the bottom and not get
He's
pushed
that
along.
much of a badass.
He is.
I'm surprised you're not using Gao to steal abilities or anything.
You can only steal abilities on the Veld.
Ah,
So,
I see.
like, which is really stupid, or part of the reason why it's really stupid.
Yeah,
so-
that is really stupid.
Like, fighting these enemies will give us the ability to see those enemies later in the Veld, but not now.
Lame.
Yeah, it's a little painful. Alright. Simple
Yay,
button.
dozens of caverns with treasure in.
Yep. Fall down the hole. Get ourselves a treasure. come back down here.
You found a green beret.
I did. That is actually super useful. Not only is it a powerful defensive item, it increases your hit points by about 10% or so.
What?
So it's pretty
What were
useful.
the green berets? Were they England or Ireland?
American.
American.
Yeah.
Shows how much I know about the military, being the child of 2 Air Force sergeants.
So this is the last chance. We are in South Figaro? No, we're not. We're in Nikia. That's right. This is the last chance we... Move, douche! Move!
I
move.
hated sprites that did that shit.
God. So this is the last chance we have to buy equipment. There's like 1 or 2 items that are actually available here that are not available in the previous area. Oh, please don't tell me I have to grind for more shit. Is it the weapons? Yeah, it's the weapons. God damn it, I need 400 money. Grind time!
Go get 400 money?
That's what we're doing.
Yay.
Yeah, okay. Gotta love grinding that only lasts for 1 battle.
That seriously only lasted 1 battle, guys.
Okay, so here we go.
Like, he left, he found an enemy, he got the monies, and he came, and we are leaving now.
Yep, it took longer to find that. I don't know why I'm describing it. You guys just saw it sped up. But anyway.
Yes.
Alright, so that's done. We are now sailing the South Figaro. And from here it's automated as everyone is questioning whether everybody arrived in one piece. Shut up, Gao. Nobody likes you. Alright, we are all set. The 3 have reached Narsh, and a decisive battle is about to take place. They really mean the 3 groups. Because even if you go as Locke and Celeste, it goes, the 3 arrived, but there was only 2 of them. Alright, so I'm going to skip through this text and just summarize. Basically, we're trying to convince the mayor of Narsh that the Emperor is going to be a jackass, especially because Narsh has that Esper that we found earlier. But the mayor is like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to risk Narsh's safety, and I don't think the Empire's actually going to do it.
I don't know.
But then Sabin
Maybe
and
Tuesday.
Cyan arrive, and they're like, hey, Dome is dead because Kefka decided to poison a river because that's what the Empire does. And the mayor is still, but I don't think that'll happen to Narsh. And then Locke and Celeste arrive and go, except that's actually going to happen because the Empire's at your doorstep. So, the fight's going to happen whether anybody likes it or not.
Oh, boy.
And the cool part is you're about to see every one of the main characters get surprised, but none of the sub-characters do because they didn't make the surprise face animation for everybody, except for the main characters. So, you know, whatever. Shut up. My god, Locke, you talk a lot. I complain even though I was absolutely riveted by this the first time. Cyan here is freaking out because he doesn't want to deal with anybody who is part of the Empire. But, as Edgar says here, the Empire is evil, but not all of its citizens are. So...
Shades of Grey, motherfucker.
Yep, so Celeste has turned, and of course Terra has basically turned, except she just didn't know. It already went away. Everyone was surprised except the NPCs. Now this is a bit of an important conversation coming up. Also, Kefka shows his awesome leg muscles. Do you want to voice them? Because this is kind of adorable.
Nah, let's just let it go.
So, Kefka's pissed, and there you go. That shows his second act of being a psychopath. That he doesn't care, he just wants everyone dead. And there, those are his awesome leg muscles. He continues walking the even pace, despite the fact that he's jumping sideways and flailing his hands about. You should totally play Kefka in a live-action version of this.
Crazy people have infinite leg strength.
Okay.
It's true.
Alright, so we're having a big-ass battle, and we've moved... The Esper has been moved to the mountaintop. Now, this is a good conversation. Locke has an has a complicated past. I wouldn't think he's... okay, that was fast, and I'm not clicking the button. Celeste is essentially not falling for Locke, or not thinking Locke will fall in love with her. And Celeste there is talking to Terra. So you were born with the power of magic? Isn't it a lovely gift? You can use magic too? When I was a baby, I was artificially infused with magic and raised as a Magitech Knight. Have you loved anyone? Celeste is freaked out immediately. Probably thinking there's some lesbianism in there, but Terra's just honestly asking. She just can't love. She wants to know love. And Cyan doesn't trust Celeste. Whatever. We'll fix that.
Character development.
Character development. So, this is a throwback from the big battle at the beginning. We're going to have a bunch of enemies coming up, and we're going to split into 3 teams. So the idea, the way the game is balanced, is you take 3 teams, you take 2 teams of 2, and 1 team of 3, because you only have 7 characters here. But we have a different way we're going to do this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set everybody's equipment, because this is going to take forever. So I'm going to time-lapse here while I do this, because otherwise you guys are all going to get driven nuts. So hang on, everyone. Okay, we're finally ready after that nonsense.
Yay!
Now
Now we can get to it.
So, here's how we do this. We're going to divide the 3 teams. We're going to have 1 power team and 2, for the love of God,
Say
let's
the
not die team.
expert from Kafka. Need some info? I did it.
No Kupo?
There's no Kupo listed.
That has not stopped you before.
It's in the script.
So this is how much I plan this game. All right, we're gonna start with the shitty group.
Kupo.
So, actually no, we're gonna start with the power group. So Edgar is a fucking amazing dude because he can hit everybody. Celeste has the runic, so we need her there because when we fight Kefka, because we're actually fighting him finally for the first time, he's going to cast the shitload of magic which we can't handle. So her runic ability will come in handy. And then we're going to have Locke and Sabin round out the team. For Team 2, Gao's going to be the main feature of it, but since we lose control of him, we need someone who actually knows what they're doing, which will be Terra, to cure him as necessary. And then Team 3 is Cyan by himself, who is outfitted with running shoes and the black belt, which means he can move faster in battle, and he will counter attacks. Hopefully neither Team 2 or Team 3 get involved. Team 1 will be running around doing all the work. So, that's the team. Teams, plural. And we are going to kick some ass.
Kick some major fucking
Pose.
Yeah.
Hi, Kefka, you clown bastard, you. Oh, it's General Celeste the Traitor. How delightful. This will be fun. Ah, Kefka, you and that laugh. Now, this little sequence is going to take a while, so probably the Akamura and I are going to be talking about not this game. Alright. So, Edgar's the power team, but we're going to strategically position the other 2 around here. So wait a minute, I did something wrong. And then and then and then there we go. So now, because if any of these enemies even touch Bannon, we're done. So, Cyan and Gao there are standing guard, while Edgar's team is going to try to... Oh, great. Immediately back attack. Wonderful. This is great. Alright, so... Okay, you guys can stop punching us in the face. Thank you. Guys? Holy crap, the speed is slow. Ah, God, I'm so used to
Yawn.
more modern Final Fantasies with much faster speed.
There are things I could be doing.
Which is ironic because there were memory and speed problems in the PlayStation release, but the battle speed at least went faster. Weird. So the reason I have Edgar on this team is because with his ability to hit everybody, between that and that and Celeste's magic, we should be able to take everybody out fairly quickly, as you can see there. But these four are going to be getting all of the experience and all of the stuff. Each of the enemies here, each of the battles are balanced with the idea that you're only going to have 2 people per team. So it's not excessively difficult. And with 4 of us, we should be able to have, like, no problems here. And Celeste is also in the team, so she can use her cure magic. I burned through a lot of magic during this sequence. However, I've finally gotten over my fear? My apprehension of using items because of the so-called too awesome to use trope, which is where you don't want to use any item because what if you need it later? And then you wind up surviving the battle and then you're like, hey, I guess I didn't need it after all. But now I'm over it because I'm like, well, why would they give me an item if they didn't intend for me to use it at some point, right?
Yes.
There was a game, an RPG called Lunar, which is a fantastic game, fantastic RPG. That was extremely difficult, and you had to use items. If you didn't use items, you were going to die. And it was so weird for me to play that game at first, because I've always played games like I do Final Fantasy VI. I've played every RPG like I play Final Fantasy VI, where I try not to sell things, I try not to use items, and with Lunar, that screwed me over at first, because I was like, what do I do? How do I survive? And luckily I was fine. How does, the Tales game works the same way, right? That you pretty much have to use items to survive?
Initially, yes. You do get a title for going 2/3 of the game in Symphonia without using items.
Without using a single item?
Not a single one.
That has to be crazy
You also
difficult.
Get a title for nobody in the party faints until a certain point. And then you get a title for never running from battle until a certain point.
How long have the Tales games been around?
Tales of Fantasia was the first one, I believe. Let me talk into the microphone. I'm gonna go look that up.
Well, do you have at least an estimate? The reason I'm asking
Probably
is...
they're as old as the Final Fantasy series.
So they predate the Xbox. The Xbox One, I'm saying. Or rather, the Xbox 360.
Oh, yes.
The reason I'm bringing that up is because those titles were, like, achievements, you know, but, like... I mean, so they predate achievements, but yet they have those titles, which are basically achievements.
Yeah,
that's still cool. I mean, that's... What the fuck is that?
They've streamlined, I want to say, the way titles work, because they used to just be achievements. Like, you could get titles and stuff in Fantasia, and they didn't do anything. But in Tales of Symphonia, they actually gave you stat growth bonuses.
Oh, cool. Come on. Yes. I love giving Edgar the Genji glove and giving him 2 spears. Oh god.
Tales of Fantasia was released for the Japanese Whoa. Are you dying?
Guys? I'm Pyro Goddamn Falcon. We are not going to... Okay, it's bad when I actually have to concentrate on a battle for Final Fantasy VI. I fucked that up
Level
too heavily.
grinding.
No, that was just bad strategy on my part.
But,
This is why we bought 90 tonics before leaving Mobilets. Go ahead.
Tales of Fantasia was released for the Super Famicom in 1995. Like, the end of 1995.
That was the first one?
That was the first one.
Okay, so it doesn't predate Final Fantasy, but it does definitely predate... Because that was after Final Fantasy VI, even. But it does not predate the Xbox. But what I really liked about the Tales, at least Tales of Vesperia, right? That's the only one I've played so far. The thing with Vesperia is you could only keep 15 of each item, which I gather was a design choice they made for the other Tales games, too.
Yes, you have an item cap. You can raise it, if you do a New Game Plus and you buy the thing for it.
But, I mean, it's always been fairly tight, right? Because Final Fantasy VI, it's...
Oh, yes.
Rather, let's see, Final Fantasy VI, it was 99 per item. Final Fantasy IV, it was 99 per stack, and you could have as many stacks as you wanted per your item cap. So you could only have like 99 tonics in a stack, but you could also have like 5 stacks of 99 tonics. So you'd essentially come to a point where you'd probably never run out.
Yeah.
And so with the Tales games, because the limit is so tight, you have to have better item management skills, and that attracts me.
In Symphonia, they did have an item that was too awesome to use. You only ever got 3 of them throughout the whole game. They were all divides. And what they did was, when you used them in battle, they would cut your enemy's attack by half.
Nice.
Which was
Did that work on
crazy good
bosses too?
Oh, yes.
So you pretty
There
much
actually was a boss, a Vision. So fucking tough to beat without them. The all divides were practically made for his boss fight. It gets better.
Okay.
In the PlayStation 2 version, all divides don't work on him.
Evil. Well, we're going to keep talking about Final Fantasy VI, the Tales series, and other RPGs in the next episode of this show. Thanks
Really quickly, I actually want to get the Tales of Symphonia thing, and I want to try to get the 3 titles I talked about earlier, the gung-ho one, which is everyone is like super low-leveled at a point in the story, and then I want to beat a Vision. Like that.
And which one was that again?
Gung-ho?
No, the game.
Tales of Symphonia.
The GameCube version?
No, the new... We could get the GameCube version, but I want to get the new special edition with both of them.
Isn't that the PlayStation 3 exclusive, though?
I think so, yes. Which
'Cause
means
I
I will
don't
have
own a
to be doing
PlayStation
a
3
lot
anymore.
of shit to do it.
No, I'm saying I don't have a PlayStation 3 anymore.
I know. Gonna have to find and procure a PlayStation 3.
You're gonna buy a PlayStation 3 just for one game?
Yes. That is how much I love Tales of Symphonia.
I never love a game that's so a lie. I swore I would never buy any apps.
Tales
I'm totally
of
gonna buy
Symphonia.
the iOS app of Final
Tales of
Fantasy VI.
Symphonia is my Final Fantasy VI.
Yay! Well, we should experience it together then. We could
Yes.
also LP it, but we're gonna have to LP it in a later episode of this show since this has gone on 22 minutes, which is long enough. Thanks for
We could grab the GameCube version and do an LP of that.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We will see you
Thanks
tomorrow.
for putting up with that.